What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Namaste, Namaskram, Ram Ram Ji, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to react to the birth of Krishna. Much love to you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. And I know we are celebrating Janmashtami. I think that's the wrong pronunciation, but yeah, or maybe it's Jamashtami or Jamatami. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good one. So let's check this out and tell me what you think. And you can correct some of these videos. Sometimes I get that maybe they would have some mistakes, so be sure to correct me in the comment section. I would appreciate having some corrections. But yeah, let's get down to business. Let's go. Seems to be one interesting one, eh?
One summer day in Mathura, Vasudeva and his new wife, Princess Devaki, were headed back home. Devaki's cousin, Prince Kamsa, was dropping them. Now let me tell you about Kamsa. He was a cruel and ruthless man. Shivers ran down the spine of most people that encountered him, including his own family. He had even imprisoned his own father. Kamsa was zipping through the village as fast as his horses could take him. "Get out of the way, you peasants!" Ha 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 ha. "Vasudev, look at the little people run." Suddenly, the sky cracked open. It started to thunder, and from the heavens, a loud voice boomed. "Kamsa, you fool, you shall die. The 8th son born to Devaki will slay you." The chariot came to a sudden halt. Kamsa pulled Devaki by the hair, took out his sword and yelled, "Your 8th child will kill me? Ha 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 ha! Well, not if I kill you first." Devaki cried out in pain, "Kamsa, let me go." Vasudeva acted quickly. He gripped Kamsa's hand and managed to free Devaki loose. Vasudeva pleaded, "Kamsa, stop! She is your sister." Kamsa was enraged. "I will not be killed by a child that is still to be born." He held up his sword and was ready to strike.
Wow. That's crazy.
Please don't kill us. If it will save Devaki's life, we will hand over our children to you when they are born," begged Vasudeva. Kamsa was not pleased, but gave in. "I'll spare Devaki, but I need to be certain you won't go back on your word." So Kamsa locked them in a dungeon. Over the years, Kamsa visited Devaki and Vasudeva every time they had a child. Soon they lost 6 children. When their 7th child was about to be born, Vasudeva couldn't take it anymore. "We must save the child." Devaki looked at him with disbelief. "How can we do that? Kamsa is an evil tyrant and we are locked in this dungeon. Nobody will challenge him. He even imprisoned his own father." Vasudeva reached out, held Devaki and said, "Don't lose hope. Remember, there is a prophecy." A few days later, the 7th child was born. Miraculously, the child was carried to Gokul by a mysterious being. Kamsa was told the child is no more. Kamsa was elated. Just one more child to be born. This child is supposed to be the slayer of the mighty Kamsa? We shall see.
He was arrogant.
Soon it was the month of Shravan, which is mostly mid-July, early August. One night it was raining heavily and there was thunder and lightning everywhere. Devaki's 8th child was about to be born. Devaki and Vasudeva were worried. A little past midnight, the child was born. Much to the couple's surprise, the child did not cry or attract attention. Vasudeva saw it as a sign. He is the most beautiful child. And look, Devaki, he knows that he should not cry. I wish I could get out of these chains
Right.
just to hold my son. As he said this, his chains came off and he was free. The doors of the dungeon also flew open. Devki and Vasudev held their breath for a moment,
What?
but when no guards came running in, Vasudev acted fast. He quickly grabbed the child, placed him in a nearby basket, and decided to make a run for it. Devki, our friend Nanda in Gokul will be able to look after the child. Wish me luck. Devki said, "You don't need luck. The gods are on our side."
Wow.
Vasudev placed the basket on his head and walked out of the door. He saw the guards were fast asleep and ran as fast as he could, until he reached the river Yamuna. The Yamuna river was now in full flood and turbulence due to the rain. It was the only thing that stood in the way of Vasudev and the town of Gokul. After finding no other way to cross, Vasudev decided to take on the waters. As soon as Vasudev began walking through, the water
This is
started
really
rising.
interesting.
However, as soon as the child's feet touched the water, the river parted and gave Vasudev a safe path across. As soon as he had passed through, the river fell back and ran as aggressively as before. Vasudev finally reached Gokul and could hear the cries
This-
of a newborn baby.
Totally.
Vasudev knew instantly that the cries were coming from Nanda's home. He entered and saw the newborn next to Nanda's wife Yashoda. Vasudev picked up his own son, walked to the cradle, softly kissed him on the forehead, and replaced him with Nanda's child. On picking up Nanda's child, he thought, "They have a girl. I'm sure Kamsa won't harm a baby girl. I really hope not." He then placed the baby girl in the basket and quickly started back to Kamsa's palace. Vasudev returned to the palace and found the guards exactly as he had seen them, fast asleep. He entered the dungeon and the doors magically shut behind him. A few minutes later, the child began to cry. The guards woke up and quickly ran to inform Kamsa about the birth of the 8th child. Kamsa hopped out of bed, got dressed, and ran to the dungeon. This was the moment he was waiting for. When he got down there, he spotted Devki holding the child close to her heart and Vasudev standing over her. When Vasudev saw Kamsa, he screamed, "No, Kamsa! This is just a baby girl. What harm can she do? Let this go." Kamsa wasn't listening. All he could spot was the child that was supposed to slay him. With a look of absolute madness, he grabbed the child and was about to do the unthinkable when the child just flew out of his hand and towards the heavens. Kamsa was stumped. Through the thunder and lightning, a voice boomed again. It shattered glasses and threw open doors and could be heard throughout the palace. "Kamsa, the one who shall destroy you still lives." Kamsa, shaking with anger, stormed out of the dungeon and ordered his guards to put Vasudev and Devki in chains again and let them rot in the dungeon forever. Or so he thought. And this was the miraculous beginning of
Wow.
Krishna's journey.
This video was adapted from an Amar Chitra Katha comic. If you liked it, then click on the button above to buy this or any other book from Amar Chitra Katha.
For me, the crazy part in all of this is I always get goosebumps, man, when I'm reading, and I'm like, bro, I don't even have that much knowledge when it comes to all this, but I always get these goosebumps, like, wow, like I'm just into it and enjoying it 100%, and understanding how it all went about. I want to share something. In Christianity, you see that there is a story again, the story of Moses. He was born, and they had to his mother, because the children were being killed, his mother had to put the child in a basket. Just like it's something like this. He had to put the child in a basket, and but the difference is she had to put the child in the river that is close to was it the daughter of the king, the princess, and then the princess took the child, and then she raised him as her own son, and then he was the one who later on defeated the pharaoh or the king. So when I was seeing this, I was like, yo, there is this story in Christianity that is, but that was amazing, man. That was amazing. Honestly, I'm gonna start reacting to Little Krishna episodes, because I mean, this is amazing, right? And correct me, Krishna is the incarnate of Vishnu, right? Or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think yeah, that's correct. So yeah, much love to you guys, man. I really enjoyed this. It was really awesome. And if there is something that is wrong in this, please correct me in the comment section. But yeah, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.